Shall we begin? Well, hi, I'm glad to be here at Cadenza, this wonderful room. Thank you to Alan. Thank you to Mark for doing sound. I always like to start with this song. And it's a song I think the Beatles kind of threw away on the album because they did do it as a kind of jokey music hall song. But I found that the longer I do it, the more I'm moved by the words. What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll do my best not to sing out of key. I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. By the way, singing along is encouraged throughout this evening. How do you feel when your love is away? Does it worry you to be alone? How do you feel at the end of the day? Are you sad because you're on your own? I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I just need someone to love. Could it be anybody? I just need someone to love. Do you believe in a love at first sight? Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time. What do you see when you turn out the light? I can't tell you, but I know it's mine. I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, it's customary at this point in a set to introduce yourself, so I thought I'd write a song about that. I'm going to do a mix of other people's songs and my own. When I was a kid, I wanted to save the day like Superman. Travel to Tahiti like that guy Gauguin. See the earth from space, I wanted to be a rocket man. I don't know what brought me to this place, but it sure as hell wasn't a plan. Now, any of you feel the same way, you can sing that with me. I've been to the Southwest Canyons and the ruins of the Yucatan. Stood in front of art by Botticelli and Rodin. Safaried in Zimbabwe, I walked in Gandhi's land. I don't know what brought me to this place, but it sure as hell wasn't planned. I did magic shows in Spain, using wordless sleight of hand. Sat in with Muddy Waters once in a blues club jam. I walked across that bridge from Selma to Birmingham. I don't know what brought me to this place, but it sure as hell wasn't a plan. Some people's lives are a straight road to the summit. Some go wandering like a chaos muppet. I don't know what's coming next, I got no diagram. I sit and watch my grandkids build their castles in the sand. I see their futures beckon like a neon hologram. I don't know what brought me to this place, but it sure as hell wasn't a plan. I don't know what brought me to this place, but it sure as hell wasn't a plan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The one greatest, I guess the greatest surprise in our lives was having grandchildren. It's something else. It's not. To me, I would put that as the definition of grace, something wonderful that can't be earned. You know? So they were quite young, and I was thinking, man, this world is a mess. And I don't want to tell them all that right now, because you don't want to scare them out of growing up, but I wanted to get this down as a song, so just in case, you know, they'd have it. One grandkid sleeping on my chest, the others running in the yard. All they know is love and laughter. They don't know that life is hard. There's so much I want to teach them, but it's not time for some of that just yet. So this song is theirs for later. Right now some secrets must be kept. Play with your friends, make angels in the snow. Laugh and sing and always know that we love you. That we love you. In this life we all stumble. We fail, we fall. There will be days when nothing makes any sense at all. Sometimes you will get lost. Keep going till you find your way. Might even be that someone's gonna break your heart. You keep moving toward the day. Play with your friends, make angels in the snow. Dance and sing and always know that we love you. That we love you. I'll tell you, you're gonna make your share of mistakes. Make them right, then let them go. And there is one more thing that I want you to know. This world's gonna try to teach you fear. It's gonna try to teach you hate. Please remember what I'm saying. You keep loving anyway. Play with your friends, make angels in the snow. Dance and sing and always know that we love you. That we love you. One grandkid sleeping on my chest, the other sitting on my knee. All they know is love and laughter. That's the way their lives should be. All they know is love and laughter. That's the way their lives should be. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I look sometimes at movies and they want to see this movie or that movie and it says adult situations. And I think mortgage payments, taxes, car repairs, I mean, this is the stuff I don't, this is the stuff I don't want to scare them with. And I was thinking about that the other day. Because my wood stove has a caution label saying it gets hot. My vacuum cleaner had a warning booklet in its box in 6 languages and 3 alphabets. And it said, don't carry this appliance by the cord. Don't vacuum up hot ashes or gasoline. You know what I mean? Sing-along part here. If I vacuum, I might get hurt. If I vacuum, I might get hurt. I could learn to live with dirt. 'Cause if I vacuum, I might get hurt. That'll be back. The state of California knows this product causes cancer and reproductive harm. There's a list of warnings as long as my arm. Must not vacuum in loose clothing. No, 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 no. Must unplug to replace parts. After all, a shock could hurt your heart. If I vacuum, I might get hurt. If I vacuum, I might get hurt. I could learn to live with dirt. 'Cause if I vacuum, I might get hurt. I could do some dishes, but scrubbing hurts my hands. That chlorine toilet cleaner, it annoys my thyroid gland. If I go to the dump, I might lose stuff I need. I think instead of cleaning, I should sit right here and read. 'Cause if I vacuum, I might get hurt. You can sing that. If I vacuum, I might get hurt. I could learn to live with dirt. 'Cause if I vacuum, I might get hurt. And I always think I'm going to do that song somewhere. And somebody who's going through real hard times is going to go, yeah, but, last winter, it was about at the shortest day, and I'd had it. I thought all this COVID stuff was over, and, it wasn't. And my own life, when I'm feeling really low or feeling anything, I try to write my way out of it. It works pretty well. I recommend writing. The wind howls through the trees, ice crackles on the pond. Sunlight fades to gray and the winter's grip is strong. Out through the woods and waters, all are trying to survive, to find a way to hang on to their lives. Bears slow their respiration as they den under the snow. Frogs freeze in bottom mud till it's winter's time to go. Insects' eggs are under bark. They're all waiting for the sun to wake them in the warming, everyone. In the depths of winter, all their hope is gone. Then spring returns and life goes on. Spring returns and life goes on. Don't know what they're thinking when the world is dark and still and the cold is growing deeper, and I guess we never will. Do they dream of summer meadows, of dancing in the rain, and of a time when life returns again? The earth spins slowly onward as the day defeats the night, and lives that shrank and dark and cold are growing in the light. In a rush of running water, the winter's grasp is torn, and sun shines on a living world reborn. In the depths of winter, all their hope was gone. Then spring returned and life goes on. Spring returns and life goes on. In one winter of my soul, when my tear ducts all ran dry from loneliness or cold that I felt encased in ice, when all my world was dark and I could not see the sun, somehow I found the strength to carry on. So as we're slogging through our personal Decembers, the turning of the year can help us to remember that when the wind blows harsh and it's hard to keep the faith, sometimes all we can do is wait. In the depths of winter, all our hope is gone, then spring returns and life goes on. Spring returns and life goes on. Spring returns and life goes on. Thank you. Oh, it's so nice to be here. Live music in a real theater, in a real performing space. Thank you, Al. You know, people here have really done as more than anybody to keep live music alive during this dark time, and it's just such a wonderful thing. Let me introduce you to a friend of mine, Bella. This instrument could be called many different things. It could be called an Irish Bouzouki. It could be called a mountain dulcimer that's been turned up. And all around the world, the saz in Turkey, all around the world there are these instruments that are a 1/5 drone and a note string. So Nick Apollonio in Rockport, who built guitars for Gordon Bach, built this for me. Start on this with a song from the Gullah culture of the Sea Islands. Enslaved people who escaped and took off to the Sea Islands and managed to build a culture for themselves and brought along a lot of the African music and roots from where they'd been taken from in Africa. This is a song, I heard songs with this same kind of rhythm when I was in West and South Africa. They call them walking songs, songs that you could just have in your head and sing, and 20 miles would go by in no time. This is also a lovely sing-along song. Watch the stars, see how they run. Watch the stars, see how they run. You know the stars run down at the setting of the sun. Watch the stars, see how they run. Watch the moon, see how she shines. Watch the moon, see how she shines. You know the moon shines down at the setting of the sun. Watch the moon, see how she shines. Hear the wind, hear how she blows. Hear the wind, hear how she blows. You know the wind she blows at the setting of the sun. See the stars, see how they run. See the stars, see how they run. You know the stars run down at the setting of the sun. See the stars, see how they run. Oh, I could play that line. I could play that line all day. I'm going to do a couple of songs together. I always go to the music of the black church and the blues for inspiration, because those musics were partly people's ways of getting through unimaginable pain and toil with hope. And a lot of them have the pain and the hope mixed together in the songs and the lyrics. So a song from the Black Church, and then a song that Paul Simon wrote, which is very similar. Excuse me. This song, When I Lay My Burdens Down, I originally thought was just about resurrection. But as I listen to the lyrics, it's about more than that. It's about all the burdens we carry around from day to day. And we could just take off. Jane and I, when we got to be 65, we took down the mirror in our bathroom. Decided that was it. We didn't need to look at that anymore. We got a little makeup mirror in case you wanted to check something. But we put up a big picture of a snow goose. It was much more fun. And all the burdens like worrying what other people think of you when they're not even thinking about you. They're thinking about other stuff. So I'm going to invite you during this song to take any burden you're carrying around and just put it down on the carpet. This place gets cleaned. You know, it'll be taken care of. And if before you leave you want to pick it back up and carry it around again, you just pick it up. Glory, glory, hallelujah, when I lay my burdens down. Glory, glory, hallelujah, when I lay my burdens down. No more weeping, no more sorrow, when I lay my burdens down. No more weeping, no more sorrow, when I lay my burdens down. I am feeling so much better since I laid my burdens down. I'm feeling so much better since I laid my burdens down. Glory, glory, hallelujah, when I lay my burdens down. Glory, glory, hallelujah, when I laid my burdens down. Glory, glory, hallelujah, since I laid my burdens down. Thank you. I'm just going to get a quick idea of what time it is. Hang on. I know I'm not supposed to be worrying about that, and I'm not, but I just... Oh, good. Lots of time. Paul Simon took that music, and as Paul Simon does, gave it a great deal of energy and depth. We were through a bunch of rough times over the last 5 years, and this song really got me through more than anything else. The night was cold, the roads were icy, snow was falling and the drifts were high. I was weary from my driving and I stopped to rest for a while. I was sitting at a truck stop, I was thinking about my past. I've had a long streak of that bad luck, and I pray it's gone at last. Gone at last, gone at last, gone at last, gone at last. I've had a long streak of that bad luck, and I pray it's gone at last. Now I want you to imagine Phoebe Snow singing this next verse. I ain't dumb, I kicked around some, I don't fall too easily, she said. But that boy looked so dejected, he just grabbed my sympathy. Sweet little soul, what's your problem? Tell me why you're so downcast. I've had a long streak of that bad luck, and I pray it's gone at last. Here's the chorus. Gone at last, gone at last, gone at last, gone at last. I've had a long streak of that bad luck, and I pray it's gone at last. Once in a while, from out of nowhere, when you don't expect it and you're unprepared, somebody will come and lift you higher, and your burdens will be shared. I do believe if I hadn't have met you, I would still be sinking fast. I've had a long streak of that bad luck, and I pray it's gone at last. Gone at last, gone at last, gone at last, gone at last. I've had a long streak of that bad luck, and I pray it's gone at last. And I pray that for all of you too. Well, I'm going to do one more. I wasn't sure I was going to do this one tonight, but it feels right. Dave Carter, one of my favorite songwriters, wrote this. He described himself when he was alive as a Buddhist cowboy songwriter. And this is sort of one of those songs, and I love it partly because it's about a retronym. I'll teach you that word. One of my favorite words. A retronym is a phrase that wasn't needed until there was a new invention, and then it was. Acoustic guitar, well, that's all there was. Dial telephone, landline telephone, and then it gets even more interesting. Dirt road, organic farming, and the one that this song is about, single-celled organism. On a sleepy, endless ocean, where the world lay in a dream, there was rhythm in the splash and roll, but not a voice to sing. And the moon lay on the breakers, and the sunlight warmed the waves, till a single cell did jump and hum in joy, as if to say, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. And should I stray in the dark night long, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. And the day grew bright and rounder, and the one turned into two, and the two into 10,000 things, and old things into new. And on some virgin beachhead, a lonesome critter crawled. He looked about and he shouted out in his most astonished drawl, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. And should I stray in the dark night long, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Then all the sky was buzzing, and the ground was carpet green, and the wary children of the woods went dancing in between. And the people were rejoicing when the fields were glad with grain. They sang this song of celebration from their cities on the plain. They sang, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. And should I stray in the dark night long, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Now there's smoke along the harbor, and there's factories on the shore, and the world is ill with greed and will and enterprise of war. And I will lay my burdens in the cradle of your grace, and the shining beaches of your love and the sea of your embrace. This is my home, this is my only home, This is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. And should I stray in the dark night long, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Thank you. That's such a beautiful song. Well, I'm going to let the song, the instrumental of Amazing Grace, carry me over onto the next instrument I'm going to switch to. Someone recently recorded this as an instrumental, and I'm blanking on the name. She said, there's no point singing it. We all know the words. You just sing it in your head. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I can introduce this instrument now. This is a distinctly American instrument. It has the genius of the United States in it, which is that we put different traditions together, like we created jazz out of all kinds of things. This kind of guitar was built first by a couple of Yugoslavian immigrants in northern Ohio, who were looking for a way to make a guitar louder. About the same time, Les Paul in New York was working on electric guitars. Well, they had a bike shop, so they had metal around, and they built this kind of reflecting bowl inside and the top, and they had the strings vibrated. It's the most beautiful instrument. And then blues players in the Delta realized they could get a sound out of this that reminded them of their ancestral sounds in Mali. Delta Slide was born, but I was on Amazing Grace. The sound of this instrument just takes my breath away. It's best known, of course, for the blues. I think that string's out of tune, it always goes out. Hang on. So, this is a song I learned from the playing of Robert Johnson. It's one of the early Delta slide masters. What's remarkable about this song, Love in Vain, it could be, the lyrics could be on the radio now. It's so perfect. Doesn't feel like a song written in 1925. There. This thing was played out this morning. I was at a farmer's market, so it's had a lot of weather. Followed her to the station with a suitcase in my hand. Followed her to the station with a suitcase in my hand. It's hard to tell, it's hard to tell if all your love's in vain. When the train come into the station, I looked her in the eye. When the train came into the station, I looked her in the eye. And I felt so sad and lonesome that I could not help but cry. All my love's in vain, all my love's in vain. When the train left the station, it had two lights on behind. When the train left the station, it had two lights on behind. You know, the blue light was my blues and the red light was my mind. All my love's in vain, all my love's in vain, all my love's in vain, all my love's in vain. Oh, thank you. And as I said, that music, the genius of the blues, is these sad lyrics. I was just reading a thing about the latest research on adolescent suicide prevention. I used to be a therapist, and so I was interested in this, and they said it's important to get kids, teenagers, to be able to speak the feelings, no matter how dark or ugly the feelings are. It's important to let them speak them. And that's what the blues does. It speaks these terrible things sometimes, but the music interferes with the sadness. It's like a rewiring of the brain. And this is an interesting song. The Grateful Dead took some lyrics that Alan Lomax had collected from the prison in Mississippi. 18-year-old black woman who her name is not in his book of collections. It's just called Black Girls Blues. But she was in prison for murder in Mississippi in the 1920s, which is as bad as it gets in this life. And yet the lyrics to this song are so soaring and beautiful that somehow she managed to sing this in the middle of that terrible thing. And the Dead space, and that terrible space, and the Dead turned that into a song of their own with different music. So this is another one of those American collaborations. I know you rider miss me when I'm gone. I know you rider gonna miss me when I'm gone. Miss your baby from rolling in your arms. Lay down last night, I was trying to take my rest. Lay down last night, I was trying to take my rest. My mind was rambling like the wild geese in the west. Sun gonna shine in my back door someday. Sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. Wind's gonna rise, gonna blow my blues away. And they added a verse or two. Wish I was a headlight on a southbound train. Wish I was a headlight on a southbound train. I would shine my light through the cool Colorado rain. I know my rider bound to love me some. I know my rider bound to love me some. Throw her arms around me like a circle round the sun. I know you rider gonna miss me when I'm gone. I know you rider gonna miss me when I'm gone. Gonna miss your baby from rolling in your arms. Gonna miss your baby from rolling in your arms. Isn't slide guitar, this is the most beautiful instrument, isn't it? It's just a liquid feel. It's exciting. Well, let's see. I'm going to check the time one more time because, okay, good. Lots of time. So I'm going to do a song that Bob Dylan did on this, and then I'm going to do a song. Let me just check and see if there are any impressionable children here. No, I'm going to do a song that's the opposite of my usual songwriting. I didn't write it. But Bob Dylan wrote a song that I'll do on this. And then, who is that person? Oh, neurons. I'll come to it. Song When Rita Leaves. Delbert McClinton. Somehow I love this song. Every instrument I've ever learned to play, this is one of the first things I've played on it. Corina, Corina, girl, where you been so long? Corina, Corina, girl, where you been so long? Been thinking about you, babe, honey, won't you please come home? I got a bird that whistles. You know I got a bird that sings. Got a bird that whistles. You know I got a bird that sings. Ain't got you, babe, my life don't mean a thing. Corina, Corina, girl, you've been on my mind. Corina, Corina, girl, you've been on my mind. Sitting here thinking about you, babe, just trying to keep from crying. Sitting here thinking about you, babe, I'm just trying to keep from crying. So my good friend Judd Caswell, thank you. My good friend Judd Caswell, sometimes at an open mic will introduce me, and then after I do it, he'll say, and that was a Stan song, because my stuff tends to be kind of sunny and happy. And I said, well, I got to write some different stuff, which is difficult, because I'm very happy right now. Get to my age and just being alive in the mornings, I go, oh, this is great. But there's the dark, too. And Delbert McClinton has written some of the best songs about that. This song in particular, When Rita Leaves, gets my vote for having the best first line of any song ever written. Let me start that again. She left a lipstick letter on the mirror, shattered on the bathroom floor. I mean, how could you write a line that's better than that? She left a lipstick letter on the mirror, shattered on the bathroom floor. All I could piece together was never see me no more. She took all her clothes but the one red dress, the one she knows I like the best, left me behind to clean up the mess and wonder where she's gone. I had a sky blue ragtop Mustang 1964. She drove it out into the night until it would not go no more. She took a ride back into town, got some gas and put the top down. She burned that pony to the ground in the desert in New Mexico. When Rita leaves, Rita's gone. She gave me every chance that a man could want. I've never known a love so strong or so crazy when she's been done wrong. When Rita leaves, Rita's gone. I ran into her mama down in El Paso. She said Rita told her the whole story on her way to Mexico. She could tell I was taking it hard, said she was sorry about my car. She said, be glad all she broke was your heart, better let her go. When Rita leaves, Rita's gone. Gave me every chance a man could want. I've never known a love so strong or so crazy when she's been done wrong. When Rita leaves, Rita's gone. Sometimes a song tells an entire novel in 3 verses. You know, I can't use the language that he used, but I hear that John Steinbeck heard Woody Guthrie's song about the Grapes of Wrath, and he said, that bleep, 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 it took me 400 pages to tell a story. It only took him 5 verses. Well, let's see. I'm gonna, yeah. Coming back to the Martin. Let's make sure it's in tune. Do a bunch of my songs now, mostly. I don't know about you, but I've had just a couple of times in my life when a memory was so intense that it just went right down into my heart, all in one piece. And I would come back up with all the sights and smells and sounds. Periodically, it would come back up so vividly that you could walk around in it, you know? And this is one of those. He was busking in the subway with his back against a post, invisible to people walking by. Trains went rumbling under, commuters went to work. They were thinking about their projects and their lives. He closed his eyes and sang, and his head began to sway to the music as he played. His fingers danced around two broken guitar strings. The hallway tiles were cracked, they smelled like beer. Stiletto heels were tapping out the rhythms of the city, while his music filled my ears. He closed his eyes and sang, and his head began to sway to the music as he played, like this. He closed his eyes and sang, and his head began to sway to the music as he played. I sat down beside him, and a smile came on his face in a moment of unexpected grace. He talked about his wife. He said, I cheated, did her wrong. Finally she left me, don't know how she stayed so long. Then he said, my drinking drove away my son. He slowly strummed some chords and sang, I never meant to hurt no one. He closed his eyes and sang, and his head began to sway to the music as he played. Finally, you know, I got up and I joined the crowds in motion. Headed for my home, it was the time. As the train went through the tunnels with the stations flashing past, his words kept ringing in my mind. I have caused some pain with some things I've done, but I never meant to hurt no one. See, I have caused some pain with some things I've done, but I never meant to hurt no one. Never meant to hurt no one. He was busking in the subway with his back against a post. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is another story from my life. This one quite a bit more personal than that one. One of the things that's very difficult for children is to understand that their parents are human beings with frustrations and needs and dreams. She was 16 in Harlem when the music was everywhere. She flirted her way into clubs to hear singers. She smiled and she shook her hair. She listened to Cab Calloway, Spiro and Dodo, Sinatra's Syncopation by Mirbis Duchesne. Her musical temptation, She wanted to sing. She wanted to sing more than anything. She wanted to sing. She had auditions, then it was the Depression. Her dad ran a grocery store. He sold food to all his neighbors on credit until there was no more. So she took a job in a factory, put her dreams up on the shelf. She figured, when your family needs you, you can't think about yourself. She wanted to sing. She wanted to sing more than anything. She wanted to sing. She married my dad in the 40s, then he shipped off to war. She sang her heart onto records to send to the guy she was waiting for. He came back. They started a family. Now she was a mother, a wife. This was post-war but pre-feminism, and those jobs took over her life. She wanted to sing. She wanted to sing more than anything. She wanted to sing. She had her 78s in boxes. They were dusty with her dreams. On a shelf down cellar, who knows what that means. Sometimes when I'm performing and I get into a groove, might be my mother's spirit making that music move. She wanted to sing. She wanted to sing more than anything. She wanted to sing. She wanted to sing. She wanted to sing. Thank you. And sometimes you get a song out of just a little snippet. You remember going to the theater? You know, we used to go to the theater in Portland downtown, and you'd be packed in with all these people, and you have to get there early because they're going to close the doors. And so everybody's there waiting for the curtain, and we're all talking because they're out with their friends. And if you're a songwriter, you got a little notebook, and this little snippet floats over, and you write it down. And that snippet is halfway through the song. They were first together, Helen used to wonder, is this what a marriage should be like? I never hear I love you, I wish that he would say it. I'm not sure this is the way I want to spend my life. Because you know, Helen's husband's always sharpening his chainsaw, straightening his toolbox, he's working in the shed. Helen's husband's always scraping off the windshield. That's what he does. Helen's husband's always cleaning out the gutters, caulking around the windows, touching up the trim. Helen's husband's always sweeping off the front porch. That's what he does. Helen's friends are talking about him at the theater. There it is. He never buys you chocolates. He never takes you out. We don't understand why you're staying with him. How did you wind up with such a lout? Helen's husband's always oiling squeaky hinges, setting out some mouse traps, whacking down the weeds. Helen's husband's always digging in the garden. That's what he does. Helen's husband's always taking out the garbage, scooping out the cat box, he's vacuuming the floor. Helen's husband's always cleaning in the kitchen. That's what he does. It's a few weeks later, she's got coffee in the kitchen. Sees him outside mowing, she smiles and shakes her head. She finds herself remembering something her mother told her. Well done is better than well said. Well done is better than well said. Helen's husband's always Thank you. Thank you. Some friends of ours, some friends of ours were having a little struggle in their marriage, and it's happened sometimes. And I did that song when they were both around, and he said, "That's ridiculous. She loves him because he does stuff around the house." And she turned to him and said, "That's right." Well, I really got to like this guy. I never met him. Helen was there at the theater with her friends, but I was thinking that was sort of my dad and some of our old Maine neighbors up in the country. And so I imagine that sometime their 29th or 39th or 40, whatever, one of the 9 anniversaries, Helen sits him down and says, "Honey, I love you. I just wish that for our, whatever it is, let's say 30th anniversary, I wish you would write me a love song. And I've given you a whole year to do it, so I don't want to spring it on you at the last minute." Well, he wants to please, so he goes out there in the shed. He's got his little pencil that he's kind of chewed on and whittled down with his knife. And he's got his notebook that's got the measurements for all his projects. And every once in a while, he puts down a couple of words over the next year. And it's their anniversary. And he says, "Honey, I want to tell you something." He says, "I put on a new screen door, I wanted to upgrade the porch. Got down on my knee pads and I nailed down a hardwood floor. Tiled the bathroom, I used grout and glue. But I'll tell you, babe, I don't need to upgrade you. Upgraded the junker, now we got an SUV. We're going down the highway, we're surrounded in luxury. We ditched the light beer, got some micro brew. But I'll tell you, babe, I got no need to upgrade you." Let me play it. You know, I'm not saying you're perfect, 'cause nobody is. We all got stuff to rearrange. All I'm saying, hear me talking to you, is I don't need you to change. Of course, if you want to change for your own sake, you go ahead, honey, but not for me. We got a new refrigerator coated with stainless steel. New pots and pans so we can cook a great big meal. New spices so the flavor shines on through. But let me tell you something, babe, I do not need to upgrade you. I got no wish, I got no need to upgrade you. And that's the truth. Well, here's another love song. I mean, I figure almost all the love songs in the world, you know, all 135,000,003 of them, almost all of them are either "You're gone and I miss you," "You're gone and I'm glad," "We'll be here forever," kind of saccharine, "Our love is here to stay." But mostly they're heartbreak love songs. And I've been blessed. Jane and I have been together more than 50 years, and we're still speaking to each other most days. And so I can't write those songs. And some of my good songwriting friends have urged her to leave me so I can, you know, fulfill my songwriting destiny. But fortunately, she doesn't listen. So I got to write the other kind. This is a song I wrote partly, well, for everybody in my life. The little town I live in, the people who helped me. Because the older I get, the more I realize that I really haven't accomplished much by myself. There's been all this help, all this support behind me. So this is a great song for singing along, I think. I recommend it. And if there's somebody here especially you want to sing this to, that's fine. And if you want to sing it to someone who's not here, they'll get it. They'll hear it through the ether. I've never been too tightly wrapped. If you know me, you know that's the truth. I don't know how I could have made it without you. That's the singing along part. We'll do it one more time now. We'll do it all through the song. Don't know how I could have made it without you. Got those squirrels running round and round my attic. Nuts and bolts up there keep coming loose. I don't know how I could have made it without you. Sometimes I run out of steam. My train falls off the track. You get me up and you get me going. You got my back. I get way out in the tall weeds, so lost and so blue. I don't know how I could have made it without you. My mind gets torn and tangled. My thought streams get confused. I don't know how I could have made it without you. Sometimes I run out of steam. My train falls off the track. You get me up and you get me going. You got my back. Never had a lick of sense. I rarely even have a clue. I don't know how I could have made it. This is coming up on the last chance to sing along if you want to. I don't know how, I just thought I should tell you. Don't know how I should have, don't know how I could have made it. I don't know how I could have made it. I don't know how I could have made it without you. This is the last chance. I don't know how I could have made it without you. This is for 3 young friends of ours who are getting married either this week or next week, including a couple who said to their parents, we're going off in the Utah desert getting married next week. See you later. We'll have a party when we come home. One of them asked me at one point, wanting to understand this, I think, what it means to be married to somebody for more than 50 years. I had to give that some thought, because you never know what anything is like when you're going through it. You know? That's a little out of tune. Hang on just a sec. This will only take a moment. I've had kids ask me, what is that video game you're playing back there? The wonderful thing about the 21st century is that just as people my age, and I guess some of our ages, need assistive technology like phones to help us remember things and tuners to help us tune and, you know, etc., it appears like magic. We're navigating down the river of life side by side. More years than I can count, it's been quite a ride. Sometimes rough and rocky, sometimes gentle and calm. We're navigating down the river of life, on and on. We're navigating down the river of life, on and on. Let me tell you, you don't have to push that river. It just keeps rolling on. There's more to see around the bend before each day is gone, before each day is gone. Early one morning there's a fair wind blowing from behind, and we don't have to paddle, we just drift and take our time. We sit and watch the eagles nesting in the trees. We're navigating down the river of life on days like these. We're navigating down the river of life on days like these. Let me tell you, you don't have to push that river. It just keeps rolling on. There's more to see around the bend before each day is gone, before each day is gone. The The river gets shallow and the bottom scrapes, we run aground. Then first a shower, then a torrent, then the thunder sounds. We run to shore for shelter, shiver in wet clothes. We're navigating down the river of life, on we go. We're navigating down the river of life, on we go. I'll tell you, you don't have to push that river, it just keeps rolling on. There's more to see around the bend before each day is gone, before each day is gone. Flat water rivers or roaring rapids, calms and gales. These changes challenge us, keep life from growing stale. We chose this life together, that cannot be denied. We're navigating down the river of life, side by side. We're navigating down the river of life, side by side. You don't have to push that river, it just keeps rolling on. There's more to see around the bend before each day is gone, before each day is gone. We're navigating down the river of life, side by side. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I'm going to do a couple more. Two. One I'll invite you to sing with me seriously, because it's one of those songs. I don't know about you, but for me, this pandemic time has been a time when I sometimes had too much time to think back on my life, and especially the mistakes and the things I did and the things I didn't do and the things it's all that stuff. And I got to thinking partway through that about my early religious education and the phrase, love your neighbor as yourself. And I always was struck by that, because I thought it meant, well, you should first love yourself. And that's what led into this piece of music. I would do a few things over if I could. I would do a few things over if I could. I would do a few things over, and you know that would be good. I would do a few things over if I could. I would teach my kids we'd have a family band. I would teach my kids we'd have a family band. Yeah, I know they resisted, but I could have persisted. I would teach my kids we'd have a family band. I would do my sweetie better, yes I would. I could do my sweetie better, yes I could. I would do less complaining, more listening, less mansplaining. I would do my sweetie better, yes I would. I would do a few things over if I could. You can sing that if it's true for you. I would do a few things over if I could. I would do a few things over, and you know that would be good. I would do a few things over if I could. I would learn to play the piano, yes I would. I would learn to play the piano, yes I would. I would play like Pine Top Perkins, you could see my fingers working. I would learn to play the piano, yes I would. I'd mend fences with my parents while they lived. I'd mend fences with my parents while they lived. Could have bit my tongue more often, and my words I could have softened. I'd mend fences with my parents while they lived. But mostly, mostly I would live my life again. Mostly I would live my life again. With my sweetie and my kids, making music with my friends, and living in my small town until my story ends. Mostly I would live my life again. I would do a few things over if I could. I would do a few things over if I could. I would do a few things over, and you know that would be good. I would do a few things over if I could. But mostly I would live my life again. Mostly I would live my life again. I would take a few more chances, sing more songs, I'd do more dances. I would do a few things over if I could. Well, let me end with this. I think a lot about my old friend Martin Swinger, who's not on this planet in his physical form anymore, but his spirit will never go from those of us who remember him. He taught me this song. He never recorded it. I said, Martin, it's a great song. He said, oh, it's nothing. It's just a little singing exercise. I said, Martin, it's a great song. He said, oh, that's nothing, which is very Martin. And I said, well, could I have your permission to sing it? He said, sure, it's nothing. It's not nothing. It's like the songs of the black church. Only one word changes each verse. So if you feel moved to sing, it's one of those things. I would open my hands to you. I will open my hands to you. So many things I cannot do, but I will open my hands to you. Eyes. I will open my eyes to you. I will open my eyes to you. So many things I cannot do, but I will open my eyes to you. Ears. I will open my ears to you. I will open my ears to you. So many things I cannot do, but I will open my ears to you. Arms. I will open my arms to you. I will open my arms to you. So many things I cannot do, but I will open my arms to you. Home. I will open my home to you. I will open my home to you. So many things I cannot do, but I will open my home to you. You know, it makes me think of what Martin Luther King Jr. said. He said, anyone can be great, he said, because anyone can serve. Mind. I will open my mind to you. I will open my mind to you. So many things I cannot do, but I will open my mind to you. Heart. I will open my heart to you. I will open my heart to you. So many things I cannot do, but I will open my heart to you. I'm going to push the microphone away and stop playing guitar. Maybe I can hear your voices too. It's good for a room like this to have many voices in it. Stop. I will open my heart to you. I will open my heart to you. So many things I cannot do, but I will open my heart to you. Well, thank you so much for coming out tonight. This is a lot of fun, and there's nothing like the connection in live music. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alan, thank you for having me here. I think we're supposed to stop. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, which one? Which one? Oh, I'll do a song my granddaughter told me to write. She's 10 now. A real piece of work. And about a year ago, she said, Pi, that's what she calls me. She knows I like math, so it's the P-I word. I want you to write a song about a tall tree. And she said, I want imagery in it. I said, imagery? She put her hand on her hip, tilted her head a little, and said, you do know what a metaphor is, don't you? I said, well, I'll do my best to figure it out. She's something. We have this thing we say, you know, you can't tell me what to do, you're not mine. She says, yes, I am. Oak tree soars above the forest floor, 3 times as tall as a giraffe. If I told you that tree was once a nut, I guess you'd have to check my math. Squirrel buried acorns, forgot about a few. One put down roots and grew. You know, an oak is just a nut that stood its ground. It kept eating sun, drinking rain, reaching for the crown. An oak is just a nut that stood its ground. An oak is just a nut that stood its ground. In our work, for justice on this planet, we are often 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Like a locomotive climbing up the mountain, sometimes we feel rooted to the track. Every generation moves the fight ahead, then we hand the torch off to the next. 'Cause to do our best is all we can expect. Oak is just a nut that stood its ground. It kept eating sun, drinking rain, reaching for the crown. An oak is just a nut that stood its ground. An oak is just a nut that stood its ground. Many drops of rain wear the mountain down. Brick by brick a building rises to the cloud. So if your road gets too rough to travel, if your hill gets too steep to climb, take 1 small step, then rest and take another. Move ahead a little at a time, because an oak is just a nut that stood its ground. It kept eating sun, drinking rain, reaching for the crown. Oak is just a nut that stood its ground. Oak is just a nut that stood its ground. Actually, I want to do one more. I like to, this would be sort of a fun one to end on. I listened to Joni Mitchell sing this on the Newport stage with Brandi Carlile, and I remembered how much, it was this astonishing video. They did this song, which I loved when I was a kid, and I'd forgotten all about it. And as a matter of fact, I'm friends with the person who runs Pickles Potions and Lotions, and she says that for Thanksgiving, for Valentine's this year, she's going to put out a range of love potions. So here we go. It has to include this one. I took my troubles down to Madame Rue. That hoodoo woman had a gold-capped tooth. She's got a shop down at 34th and Vine, selling little bottles of love potion number 9. Love potion number 9. I told her that I was a flop with chicks. I've been this way since 1956. She looked at my palm and she made a magic sign. She said, what you need is love potion number 9. Love potion number 9. She turned around and looked at me and gave me a wink. She said, I'm gonna mix it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine, it looked like India ink. I closed my eyes, I held my nose, I took a drink. I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything in sight. But when I kissed the cop down at 34th and Vine, he broke my little bottle of love potion number 9. Now the Clovers did this black R&B group, and they actually added a verse on the end. I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything in sight. It felt so good that I'm going back again. I wonder what'll happen with love potion number 10. Well, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this evening. I certainly have. Stan Davis Music. You can hear some of the songs I've written, and I keep in touch about where I'm going to be. Thanks.